Alright, got a battle here against Miss Starmies, and since I kind of helped consult with her on some of the members of her team, if you notice she has all 6th gen guys, which is kind of cool. You know, her first team on 6th gen, so it's all 6th gen, including her Charizard, which is going to be one of the Megas, which I guess counts. So we just decided to do team reveal since I already knew part of her team, so let's just go ahead and reveal both of them, and that was pretty fun. Anyway, Color Man versus Australia, if you couldn't guess where she's from. It tells you right there on the obnoxious blue boxes on the screen. And this thing is going to sleep powder me. I was pretty sure that I was going to be slower, but just in case, you know, I decided to stay in. And honestly, Color Man, you know, is the least threatening, I guess, guy on the team. So he's probably the best sleep fodder too. Sash is still intact right now, so, you know, maybe he burned one turn of sleep right there. I don't know, maybe he can come in and wake up and try to do something or another. Maybe get web set up, maybe spore something. I don't know. Anyway, useful to have him around rather than not have him around anyway. And we're gonna switch out here and thinking about what to. And I want to hit it with a Stone Edge. And you know, that move Hurricane, it's pretty inaccurate, right? It's not. Oh wait. Cooper, that thing has Compound Eyes, and you're a Machamp with no guard. There is a major logic error here, and I realize this right about now. So we're not going to go for Stone Edge. We're going to switch out and Facepalm because I let her get up a Broken Dance for free. Anyway, we have seen aforementioned Broken Dance as well as Sleep Powder. So you got to think it's going to be Hurricane because that goes very well with Compound Eyes. And then probably Stab in the form of Bug Buzz, I would imagine. So let's go to something that's going to resist both stabs, which is going to be Swordman. It takes a +1 Hurricane pretty well. It takes about a third of its life from it, so not too bad considering this is not a defensively built one. And what are we going to do to this thing? It's going to be faster. I don't know exactly how bulky it is, so we're just going to go for Shadow Ball. We were able to see the team preview, so I decided that Shadow Ball was going to be a little bit better than Flash Cannon overall. And we picked the right one, certainly, as this thing comes in and gets... That's a pretty respectable amount of damage, I think. Now, granted, you know, it's Stab super effective in Life Orb. I'm still quite pleased with how much damage that did, considering that's a, you know, a fairly bulky dude. Anyway, so the problem here is that she most likely has Shadow Sneak, and I most definitely do not. So even though I'm going to be faster normally, I'm not going to be able to take that Shadow Sneak in my Blade form, so I need to get out of here and get out of here to something. I'm just going to assume for the moment that it's going to be a physical set, and even if it's not a physical set, if it's mixed, I'm just going to assume it's going to be Shadow Sneak regardless. So she wants the King Shield, I guess, to get some lefties because she got knocked down way low. And we just get Shade Man and activate Toxic Orb, which is pretty nice. Either attack we have should kill at this point. If we knock off, we carry a bit of a risk of King Shield, which she could easily go for again. But I'm not going to be too worried about it since either move would kill at that much HP. Anyway, Titanic comes in, Avalugg, Aircraft Carrier, and gets knocked off of its lefties, which is going to be very helpful. Now, I would really like to get this thing Toxic since it does pack Recover, and that Toxic and something that has Recover is very good. So I don't, however, want to do it at the expense of my Gliscor if I can possibly help it. So I run some calcs, and I discover that, if I, you know, the Avalanche only doubles to 120 if you actually hit them, to which Toxic does not count as hitting them. So I run some calcs, and Gliscor is actually bulky enough, this freaking stalwart bastion of a bat thing, that it is just going to live Avalanche unless she gets a crit. And it does. 4 times effective from a pretty powerful physical guy, and it still doesn't kill. And look how much HP I have after that. It's stupid. So stupid, Gliscor. You're so stupidly bulky. Anyway, so we get this thing Toxic, and I am now pretty much fine to just stay in here and roost all day. You know, if it was doing about, what was that, 75-80% while it was 4 times effective, it's going to be doing, you know, 40% tops when it's getting roosted on. So I'm going to be slower, so she's going to be forced to hit me. And I think actually her Avalugg does not pack Recover, which is interesting. It's got some other utility moves that I don't think we get to see here. But anyway, what I should definitely do is just stay in and roost, really, until she wants to leave. And then see what we can do to go from there. It might be okay to throw out an Errant Toxic if I'm up high enough HP to try to get something else poisoned in case she switches, but Anyway, I decided to bring in Splash Woman. I'm not entirely sure why, but I did. I guess just in case she wanted to leave and try to bring in someone else and get some good initiative on me. But anyway, so Splash is here, and what I should probably do is protect to regain some HP with lefties, as well as get Toxic down there and then kill this thing with Scald. And instead, I don't protect, and instead I just set up a Wish and don't even think about the possibility that this Wally thing can also carry Toxic, which is, have I harped on this enough? Getting Vaporeon Toxic is the worst thing that can happen to this team, because it is. Anyway, at least we get the Swordman, or the Armament, the Sword, Aegislash dead, which I guess is okay. And then this thing comes in. Yeah, Lore is very sad that that was not the series of moves that we wanted to have happen. Yes, we got a kill for it, and yes, it's nice that we got the Avalugg Toxic. However, it was not worth getting Vaporeon Toxic. She's very essential because I enjoy just Wish Protecting and stalling things out with Toxic, and we can't really do that anymore since we have no Cleric. Anyway, this thing's here, and guess what I want to do to it, guys? I bet you can't guess. Yeah, we want to get it Toxic. So we're just gonna go into Shade Man. I was running some calcs there to see how well we could live Moonblast and stuff from the thing, which was decent enough that I felt okay bringing Shade Man in. So I would ideally like to get it Toxic, not at the expense of my Gliscor if possible. And I look and see a +1 Moonblast from almost full HP. We should be able to live it okay. So we're just going to get this thing Toxic, and yay! I don't care if it Calm Minds up now. We can probably outstall it, or at least, you know, it won't be able to stay in long enough to go for a elongated sweep, especially not with us having some priority and stuff to do to it in hits on the physical side. So Avalugg comes in to take the Wish, which is pretty okay. Avalugg does have really high HP though, so it doesn't quite get as big a benefit from the Wish as perhaps some other things would. I'm at full HP, so I can't use Roost, so I just decided to Toxic in case she wants to immediately switch, knowing that this, you know, isn't really a favorable matchup. I don't know why I went to Vaporeon earlier and got her Toxic. That was probably the worst play I made all game. But you also, just in case something else wanted to come in and get Toxic as well, why not? Spread more Toxic, right? And also I knew from the earlier calculation that I would live, which I did, again. So now we're not going to be stupid, and we're just going to stay in here and Roost until something changes. If nothing changes, then Avalugg will just die, and she will drop in something else, which will be perfectly fine by me. So it keeps going for Avalanche, and I still can't get over that. It's 4 times effective, powerful physical dude, and it's just not killing. It's funny to me. Anyway, so it's down in the red, and the only way I'm going to hit it with Earthquake is if it has a sliver of red, because I'm not confident that Earthquake can kill an Avalugg at that much HP. It is that bulky, so I'm not going to risk it. If I go for it and it does not kill it, then I die to an Avalanche. We are not about to take that risk, and we're just going to click Roost again. But I'm definitely thinking about it. But we're going to make the correct play and just go ahead and go for Roost. The only other option there was maybe Toxic if she wanted to switch, but I was pretty sure she would not. So anyway, actually gets a crit there, which is a good time for the crit. Good time compared to any of the other previous Avalanches, as now I'm a little bit lower on hit points and I don't have the chance to Roost off the crit damage. So in comes the first of several Clawitzer, that's the thing's name, Pistol Shrimp thing. I keep wanting to call it Clauncher, because that's the basic form. And I give it a quick look-see. This is, you know, the first time I'm actually seeing one in battle, so now would be a good time to hit up Cerebi and check out what it can actually do. And I see it as Swords Dance, but I see between its ability and its move pool and its stats, it's most likely going to be used as a special attacker. So that means we're going to go into our special wall, who is Toxic. And she picks probably one of the best moves she could have picked, Dark Pulse, as you know, it's going to get decent damage on Vaporeon and Gliscor. And if I wanted to try to get cheeky and bring in Aegislash, she would have got wrecked as well. So we're just going to put a Wish in the air. Right now, I'm not sure if she's not Life Orb, obviously. I'm not sure if she's Choice. There's a pretty good chance she's Choice. I think that's a common thing on them, the specs, just the blowholes and stuff. But since she is possibly locked into Dark Pulse, and, you know, if not, then I guess the Wish would have covered almost all of the damage on Guts anyway. So Gutsman's in here now, and he's just going to throw a dynamic punch at somebody. I'm not totally sure if he's faster or not. Certainly she could still be scarfed. I have, for all the calcs I do, I don't think I ever bothered to check and see, oh, that's doing enough damage that it must be a spexed one. I guess it was just doing so little to Vaporeon, I just did not care. must have been the thing. But get some decent damage on the Sylveon, which is nice considering it's resisted. And that's definitely too much HP that I do not feel comfortable bullet punching. And I probably wouldn't want to do that. Well, I might want to do that if it's going to kill, but that's not going to kill. So we're just going to switch out here. And who into? Probably into Aegislash. See if she just wants to try to go for you know, some big damage with Moonblast. Something like that. Could certainly try to set up Calm Mind. But after some more toxic damage, it might also be low enough for Aegislash to kill it. So that's what we're going to see what it does here. Sets up a Wish, and because it's going to get a Wish on the next turn, I would ideally like to go ahead and get it dead now. The thing is that she could definitely, if I go for Flash Cannon, she could definitely bring in the Pistol Shrimp, and then we would be in a bit of a pickle. Splash is kind of low on HP, so she's not going to be able to take a hit. And it's definitely going to be questionable what she goes for. At that point, she's probably okay going for, well, she goes for a Water Pulse. I could get Splash healed up. So definitely a head scratcher here. But ultimately, we're just going to decide, you know what, let's try to get the Sylveon dead. Even though I'm not overly worried about it too much, we're just going to go ahead and see if we can get it dead here. So she stays in, and Flash Cannon is actually going to take it out from about 50-60% or so, which is pretty nice. You know, the thing is definitely especially bulky, and coming through, and that's kind of exactly what Swordman's supposed to do. Special walls, well, if it's a Blissey, we'll Sacred Sword it. If it's not, well, we probably have a super effective stab against it, which was indeed the case right there. So Charizard comes in, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be a Megazord X based on talking with her, and I'm going to expect it's probably going to Flare Blitz, so we're just going to go into Splash Woman. She kind of has not enough HP right now to be useful much anymore, so fortunately though, if it is going to be Megazord X, which it is, Gliscor is going to be better against it than it would against Megazord Y. So Fire and Dragon type, and actually going to go for Shadow Claw here, which would have also been super effective. Vaporeon manages to live it, which I guess is okay. Lives it with 6. And there's obviously no point to me using Protect. We're just going to go for Skull, just in case she wants to try to do Dragon Dance or something like that. We can't get it burned, but, you know, whatever, it'll be some damage. And then her router fails, and Wi-Fi disconnects us. So, yeah, it's going to be our first DC of 6th Gen. But we have another one here that we're going to go underway right now. Alright, and so yeah, here's the rematch. I just decided to verse record this, not bother actually live recording it until, you know, after we confirmed that it was going to be an okay. And did I not turn on the move animations for this recording? It's going to be a drag. Anyway, maybe you can kind of follow what's going to happen. I guess I'll have to do more narration. I'm not about to re-record this right now. Don't have time. Anyway, so this is our rematch. I decided I was only going to upload it if it was going to be, you know, kind of decent, and it went to be okay. So, anyway, Dark Pulses as we bring him a champ, which, you know, that was a nice little pivot switch there, I guess. And we're going to go for Fire Blast, and it's not going to kill, but that's okay, because we have Bullet Punch. So, that was definitely handled the Vivillon a lot better right there. Again, sorry for the no animation. That's going to make this a lot more difficult to watch, but anyway. So that's going to Aura Sphere, and at this point I'm, I guess, satisfied enough that I want to see what the move it's going to use is. So now I know not to get Vaporeon Toxic, by the way. That's going to be something we're definitely going to do. And we're just going to go for a quick Scald, and hey, what do you know? Scald does what it does. It burns. That's what Scald's supposed to do. So in case it is indeed a physical one, I'm pretty sure it is, although I haven't actually seen it do much stuff. My Acid Armor up. However, I kind of forgot about Sacred Sword. It breaks through your defense increases. I don't totally disagree with going for Acid Armor there, though, since it does force her to use non-stab instead of Shadow Claw. Anyway, I know now that Vappy is not going to be staying in against this thing. No, sir. And we're going to send in Swordman, who will be faster, avoid Toxic, and all sorts of good stuff as far as that goes. And I actually go for Shadow Ball for some reason instead of Flash Cannon. I guess I'm going for the prediction. But she protects, so that gains her some lefties, and now I go for Flash Cannon, and she gets this thing in. So very well played right there. That was an excellent series of out predictions right there. So here, however, because I'm at higher HP, I feel a little more confident I can live Shadow Sneak, which I do, and finish it off with Shadow Ball. So also it was burned, right? Yeah, it was burned. So yeah, that was why. That was why I felt a little more confident, huh? That helps. Anyway. Pistol Shrimp comes back in and wants to shoot things at me that are known as Dark Pulse, which Vaporeon takes really well. So she's going to switch out. And yeah, things go much better when Vappy is not toxic. So I Scald, and I'm actually really hoping to not burn, which it does not burn, which is very good. If I burn it, then it's going to be able to Wish Protect and, you know, gain lefties and I'll gain all that stuff. I want it to take gradually more damage. So switching Color Man, I don't quite remember why. Special attack, drop off, Moonblast, whatever, just to see if I can, you know, get it to wake up, maybe get it to sleep to not have to deal with it for a while. But oh well, end up using Color Man as death fodder. Not the best use of it, but I'll certainly take it, I guess. So in comes Shade Man, and it wants to toxic someone really bad, which is going to be this thing, which you guys just saw what you guys just saw this. I once again am enjoying what is occurring here. With the being able to tank the avalanches. And yeah, this was an immediate rematch as well, so this was immediately after no teams changed or anything like that. So we're just certainly going to Roost right here, get some HP back, and go from there. And get back up to full because Poison Heal is freaking retarded. Yeah, anyway. So we're going to Water Absorb as she kind of goes for a Desperation Water Pulse. And back up to full HP on both walls, which makes me very happy. So we're going to set up Wish, and that's going to be a chance to bring in Shade Man if it wants to do a Moonblast, wants to do a Shadow Ball instead. So I love how that HP just immediately rebounded there with the no animation. It's kind of funny. Anyway, so we're going to try to get this thing toxic, brings this thing back in, and we're going to continue to do the same thing as before, which is if I'm at full HP, we'll just blow a toxic PP, and if we're not at full HP, we will Roost. Certainly not the best series of moves that she could hope to have happen, but it's kind of a disadvantageous matchup here anyway, and you know, certainly she's going to be looking for any opportunity she can to get into Pistol Shrimp, which is definitely going to be her best opportunity to kill Gliscor. Unfortunately, Vaporeon is not toxic this game, which means Vaporeon can come in and shut down the Pistol Shrimp without having to worry about gradually dying. So yeah, rotating between these two is going to be pretty effective right now, and she's definitely going to have to come up with something to be able to get through them. Anyway, like I said before, I'm not going to go for Earthquake unless Avalok has a sliver of HP, which in that case it had a sliver of HP. I felt confident enough in Shade Man with the Stab Earthquake, not the Aqua Tail or the Aerial Ace, that it would actually be able to knock it out. Anyway. Splash Room once again comes into the Pistol Shrimp and forces it out and sets up a Wish, and now guess we're going to switch back into, guys. It's going to be pretty boring. Yep, it's going to be back into Shade Man. Just abusing this very nice little core that kind of dies to Bolt Beam. You know, the Winter 11 series, we had Magnezone to deal with Bolt Beam. Not so much this time. We don't really have much of anyone to really deal with Bolt Beam. But we are going to get that thing knocked off after getting it toxic, and looks like Moonblast is gotta do, that looks like that was over half. I think she's got a Calm Mind up. But it's not gonna do quite enough, and we're now gonna go into Splash Woman. Imagine this. This thing is now toxic, which is what I desperately wanted. I was gonna feel really scared about just throwing around Scald, because again, I do not want to get Sylveon burned. If it is burned instead of toxic, it can definitely cause some mayhem for me, especially since Gutsman's already dead. And you know, that's going to be my chance to Dynamic Punch, confuse it, and then maybe make something happen with Bullet Punch. So fortunately we did get it toxic, and yeah, we're just going to Wish Protect while Toxic slowly does the job, which is going to be about right now. And yeah, I'm going to drop in. Alright, here comes the Mega Charizard, and this time it's actually going to get to do something. The Wi-Fi could not handle the epicness of Fire Dragon Charizard, so I guess that's why I disconnected. Actually, it was not Wi-Fi's fault. I think it was just her router crashed, so not Nintendo's fault, so don't go blaming them. Anyway, gets the Megazord up and Declaw, and hey, look what a Splash Woman does. She sets up Acid Armor and lives hits in the red. Imagine that! Anyway, so we're just going to do more Wish shenanigans as, I don't know if it wants to DD up or Belly Drum, but we have Acid Armor, and that is very difficult to kill a Vaporeon with stuff. Flinches me. This stuff is going by way too fast. I can't tell what moves are being used. Anyway, suffice to say, moves are being used. Vaporeon is tanking hits because it's ridiculous like that. And Megazord X is being... Oh, Rock Slide, that's what flinched. And Megazord X is being very sad that it is not able to kill a Vaporeon. Which it is no longer weak to. So, we Scald and do not get a burn. Somewhat surprisingly. But yeah, it's gonna go for some Dark Pulse flinches. It's probably about all she has right now. And Vaporeon, I think, looks to have most of the rest of this stuff on lockdown. It's going to be a slow process trying to get stuff dead with Scald, so we're probably going to hope for a burn at some point, I guess, to speed things along. I don't really have any defensively safe switch-ins to Clauncher, or Clawitz, or whatever. So, look at all these flinches that we're getting, and it's just doing not enough damage. So, but there's Wish, and I guess are we going to protect? Probably going to protect. Probably, in case we get flinched. No, never mind, we're just going to Scald. We're just going to knock the Zard down to probably one more hit. It's going to have one more shot of something. Try to break through some defenses, and it does not. So, Scald finishes that off, and is this her last right here? I can't see the Pokemon count. I guess it doesn't show you that on verse record. Anyway, again, my mistake for recording this without animations, guys. If we do any more verse record ones in the future, I will make sure to turn animations on. I don't turn them on for playing in-game, so yeah, that's probably why. Anyway, we finally get the thing burned, and we're just gonna let it die to a burn. So, yeah, the second match was pretty much all, let's overuse Vaporeon and Gliscor because they're freaking good. And yeah, Mega Absol is sad. He didn't get to appear at any single time over the course of either of these games, but, anyway, I had fun playing you, wow, train is being very loud. I bet you guys can hear that. I'm gonna cut it here, anyway, really enjoyed playing you, Miss Starmies, and, yeah. Looking forward to playing some more games, and hope you guys will check out the next one. Maybe slightly delayed, but we'll see. Anyway, later days.